I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
That, of course, one of the most iconic speeches of the 20th century. The great Dr. King here at the original March on Washington, which happened 50 years ago tomorrow. By the way, that part of the speech, a little bit ad-lib, believe it or not. Now, this weekend, as many know, there was another March on Washington where much of the talk focused on Dr. King and the state of his dream a half-century later.
We got some house cleaning to do. And as we clean up our house, we will then be able to clean up America.
Stand your ground in terms of fighting for justice and equality.
This is not the time for a nostalgic commemoration, nor is this the time for self-congratulatory celebration. The task is not done.
Well, tomorrow we expect to hear from President Obama, including other presidents, both Clinton and Carter, and many others in Washington. And the state of Dr. King's dream, it will be the focus of a special RFL tomorrow evening. We're going to dedicate the program to the state of Black America, the challenges facing the community, the struggles for equality, and of course, where we go from here. Again, that tomorrow night on RFL. But tonight we wanted to begin that conversation, and a quick check of the headlines just from the past year provides the background here, all that's needed to really say that we have come a long way, I think, but so far still needs to go. And race has been such a dominant theme in so many stories this year. We had, of course, the aftermath of the killing of Trayvon Martin, including the trial and acquittal of George Zimmerman. You had the Supreme Court ruling on voting rights, freeing states to reimpose voting restrictions like voter ID laws that overwhelmingly impact African-American communities. Stop and frisk, as many people know in this region, deemed unconstitutional by a federal judge, restrictions imposed by New York City lawmakers, as others, including Mayor Bloomberg most notably, praise and defend the policy that a lot of people find objectionable. And another Supreme Court ruling that rolled back the use of affirmative action. And those are just a few of many that people said are just touchstones to how race is still so present today. And Dominic, we'll talk about this tomorrow night, but you have a black president many people thought they'd never see in their lifetimes. I'm sure even when we had those conversations when the new senator from Illinois thought America not ready, it was. But we've also seen what he's encountered in the last 5.5 years. An incomplete, I guess, would be the best grade to give it, right?
Well, you know, Richard, I'm one of those folks that never thought, when Senator Obama started this race, if you would have told me that this guy would outmaneuver the Clintons and get elected to the White House, I would ask you what were you smoking or drinking, honestly, because I just didn't see it. I think if Dr. King were here today, he would be in Florida fighting for Trayvon Martin. But at the same time, as Reverend Sharpton said, and you know, we can't gloss over this, there's some serious house cleaning that must occur in the black community. The shooting in Oklahoma, I think it's Oklahoma, of the tourists. Right. Black on black crime. And I can say these things because I'm one of these childs. 73% of African American children born into a household where there's only one parent, a mother. And again, I say that out of love for my community because I'm one of those children that did not have a father in my entire life. We've got some serious house cleaning, education to jail. We got to turn so many things around. Yes, there's racism, but there's a lot within our own community that we have to turn around.
And Brian, I'll give you the last word before the break.
You know, it's interesting. I actually went to Washington and attended the RNC's 50th celebration of the March on Washington. And I think that Sharpton was right in saying that we actually need some serious house cleaning in the African-American community. But I think it starts with the leadership. You know, instead of being reactive, you know, where are these guys when there needs to be proactive, dealing with issues such as high unemployment, 16, 18%, an education system that is steadily crumbling and leading to city fatalities like the city of Chicago. You know, where are these guys ahead of time? And I think if King was alive, you know, one of the biggest things that people miss out, he not only fought for civil rights, but he also fought for economic injustices. The fact that under this president, a black man, that the rate of African American businesses has declined is a steadily failure, and I think it's sad.
A lot to get into, and again, tomorrow night we're going to dedicate our whole program to it. More than just the speeches, but the honest conversations that we did in the aftermath of the Trayvon Martin verdict, and it's there's a lot of parts to it. Please stay with us. RFL will continue right after this.